Sumner AccountabiliCow, your snout for accountability and transparency in Sumner County, Kansas.
Hold up. I would like the board to consider the request that was made earlier as far as waiving potential KORA fees. I talked to Darcy just a little bit about it. She thinks that the estimated time, she's optimistic that it may not take as long. Maybe it does.
It would take my whole department,
Right.
stopping everything to do it.
I just think that there needs to be a little bit more consideration. I mean, you guys got a bond issue going to a vote, and I think there was a valid point made that there's questions out there.
I agree.
So I don't know what that looks like. I don't know that I'm advocating to waive the fees altogether. I understand how much time is put into that, so I don't know if I'm just be totally going to waive it. But I think there's some more. And so I would just like a little bit more discussion on that.
Do you have an estimated time, roughly?
I think the estimated $40 if that was correct, and that, if we take my whole department down, but we have now negotiation back pay, pay for the month of December. We have lots of things that some of my department won't be there.
So what is it you have to find to pay?
Well, so they want anything with the bond, and I don't have the KORA request.
I have copies.
With the bond that has to do with the 2014 bond. So part of that is for KSBE, we do not have to require to keep documents past 5 years, is my understanding. So we don't know what's down there, what's not down there. I have found board minutes, which is required to keep. But as far as AP documents, change orders, things like that, I don't know what I have and what I don't have.
So my position is I'm all for like transparency, but I don't want to say, yeah, we're going to waive it, it's taking 80 hours and we're going to be here in a hole. And this is my other question. So they find, and I hope they don't find anything that was done illegally, but what's the next avenue? If they find something was mismanaged, I mean, it's been 12 years or 11 years. Where do you guys go from here?
One of my main concerns is the ambiguous wording that was used in the 2014 bond. Okay, so there was non-ambiguous wording for replace roofs complete on 2 schools. That, as far as I know, did not happen. Okay, what happened? When were decisions made that made those changes occur, right? So the ambiguous wording is also falling into what you proposed for the 2025 bond. The parking lots, just simply stating new parking lot, does not tell us whether or not you are choosing to resurface or tear out completely or put in a completely new area with new stalls. I want to know how many stalls are in the current parking lots. And how many are we going to create with this as well? So the limited, the nondescript projects in the 25 bond is also what I'm kind of looking at in a comparison model to what occurred in 2014. So it's not just a hunt or a witch hunt to point fingers at all. If there are ill findings, then we'll address that at that point. However, I want to know how to vote. If you put it on the bond to vote on the March ballot, I want to know how to vote. I don't feel like I did know how to vote in the 25 bond.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
And I'm just questioning because
Yeah.
you're bringing up something that's been done. There's nothing any of us have done. You're bringing up something that's been done. There's nothing any of us have done. You're bringing up something that's been done. There's nothing any of us have done.
Not that I'm making accusations, but there are 2 board members that were on the board at the time, and it is the responsibility of a current board to research and verify and validate the actions of a previous administration.
We're trying to do things for the students and for the kids
Yeah.
and all that, and you keep attacking, because I see the stuff online, and you keep attacking, because I see the stuff online, and you keep attacking, because I see the stuff online.
Quoting people online is not an attack. Freedom of speech is not an attack. Saying I want answers is not an attack. Exaggerative and pointed satire is not an attack. Stating your opinion is not an attack. Expecting accountability and transparency in your government agencies is not an attack. I simply fail to see where an attack has occurred.
Of the stuff, this is nothing with this board. This is nothing with this board. This is nothing with this board.
New leadership after a significant period of time is typically considered accountable for the current state of operations. Blaming predecessors can appear unprofessional and shift focus away from solutions. It is more constructive to acknowledge the challenges and demonstrate the steps being taken to address them. I'd like to hear more about what this board has done than what it hasn't.
So we're trying to move forward.
Okay.
So I don't understand why you're trying to go backwards and bring something up from the past.
Okay.
There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do.
A government agency that inherits a pile of murky records, confusing explanations, and inconsistent practices from a previous administration can absolutely take meaningful steps to rebuild public trust.
I don't see anything as an attack. I don't see anything as an attack on you. I am attacking what occurred, okay? The misstatements, the what occurred, we don't know. The last work session, Jessica Sealiger brought up the idea that no one was here at the time that remembers what exactly was done. Those were your words.
There's no one here now who can remember what exactly was done.
No one here knows exactly what was done. That's what I want to know. What you guys don't know, what is in those boxes in the dungeon basement.
Here's what I do know.
Yeah.
I do know that of the 5 schools that we still have proofs on for the bond,
Yeah.
I have pictures from teachers of water coming into their classrooms.
Okay.
That's
Currently.
not conducive, currently.
Yeah.
That they have sent them during our last rainy season, during last things.
Okay.
That is the proof that I need.
In the
And
24.
I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
I just wanted to add that. However, I think that was more explaining my vote.
Okay.
Okay, when it comes to this decision, one of the emails that we received to speak tonight, I recognized a former last name on one of them that was the name of someone who was in a legal matter with a close personal friend of mine.
Okay.
So that is as far as I'm going to go now, and I'm going to abstain from the rest of the conversation
Yeah.
and any potential vote as to not show any.
Gotcha. So what I would state on the leaking and such, there were in the 2025 and 2024 building facility assessment, 3 schools have the word roof in their sheet, and 1 has the word leak, and it was only attributed to the HVAC condensation on that one. So why are we supporting 7 roof replacements? That's my point. Is there certain things in this bond that seem to be ambiguously?
So my intent is not to relitigate whether we're gonna have a bond issue or not.
No,
My intent is
totally.
to talk about whether we're gonna waive the KORA
Yes.
fees or not. So we don't need to be relitigating the bond one way or the other. That was already decided tonight. It's going to a public vote.
Yes.
So we need to talk about the KORA piece of it, and that's it.
May I?
Do we want to waive the KORA fees, or do we not want to waive the KORA fees? Simple as that.
My
Do we
point
wanna
was they
set
are
a-
related.
Do we want to set a stopgap? Like Brandon said, I don't want to say we're waiving them, and then we end up spending 6 months trying to find this information.
And if I may, I'm
and
sorry.
tying up all kinds of time.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Newberry. I am not trying to attack this board in any way, shape, or form. I love Wellington. I love our schools. We love our kids. And Wellington supports Wellington, period. My reasoning behind all this is to see where the money went for the registered voters. I know it had nothing to do with this board. Okay, we know I want to move forward, and as the litigation you mentioned, it was probably me, but that's neither here nor there. I'm a different person now. I'm speaking for the community. I'm here for the registered voters, and as far as I go, I'm nobody, but we have 8,000 registered voters, and that's all I'm here for. I'm not here to tick anybody off or to take her and her whole crew down in the basement. You know, as far as
I'm not comfortable voting a no charge. Now, if you want to continue, because I know you fundraised for this.
We've offered, there's been people that offered to help search through the boxes, but we've been told that it could be possibly mixed with personnel files, so we can't do that.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
You got in the funds.
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead and assign this team to do that, great. When they get finished, you get your stuff and you pay, and we say, you know what, we'll rebate you back X amount of numbers. I'm comfortable doing that. I'm not comfortable right now making a vote saying, no, we're gonna waive that fee.
What I would say, the fundraiser funds shouldn't have anything in this discussion. The fact that I was able to get the community's backing shouldn't have any
We're not gonna waste our
part of
taxpayer
this.
dollars when you're talking about taxpayer dollars.
Any
We're not gonna waste our
part of
taxpayer
this.
dollars when you're talking about taxpayer dollars.
Any
We're not gonna waste our
part of
taxpayer
this.
dollars when you're talking about taxpayer dollars. If to go down, it's not a waste. I'm not.
The-
Don't put those words in my mouth. But it's not a waste. I'm not.
The-
Don't put those words in my mouth. But it's not a waste. I'm not.
The-
Don't put those words in my mouth. But
No one but the board president said anything about, I'm not going to waste tax dollars, because you are talking about tax dollars. So there was nothing anyone did to put those words in his mouth.
Yeah,
if it takes them 6 months, that's a.
that's what the community is asking you for.
I think what everybody's trying to do is just be more open, more compassionate to all of our concerns.
Yes.
And nobody wants to make anybody angry or pay more than they should. You have a right to do what you're doing, absolutely. I'm
Thank
shocked
you.
that the courthouse doesn't keep that kind of stuff. You know, I don't know. I think it should be somewhere myself, but it's not, and it's not easy to get to. I think it's just we're at a place where if that's what you guys want, and I agree with everybody else, I don't want you to have to pay the whole thing. That just seems like an astronomical amount of money for a citizen request or a taxpayer's request. But
If you're
we'll
gonna
see
put
what.
this on a bond and you want taxpayers
To pay
just
for it.
look at how it looks for you guys. You want they already paid, and they've been paying, and they continue to give more to the school each year. But you want another bond, but it's well known that people have been trying to get information about the last bond, and they're hitting wall after wall after wall. Before you go and ask for another bond, when paid for by the taxpayers, and yes, but yet taxpayers have to pay again to get it, think about how that looks for you guys to say, we want more money, but no, you cannot see what was done with the last one. It's not about putting blame, it's about
Right.
transparency, and you guys are, and I'm not saying intentional, I'm saying the way it's looking for you guys is that you're throwing up walls to keep the community out. And if you want people to vote, you're gonna have a much easier time getting that bond if you will actually be transparent, because right now, this doesn't look good at
And
all.
I totally agree with you, and I'm hoping that you're all incorrect in the bonds correctly, but because
I have
there's-
no
there's-
idea, and I'm
right,
not saying it
there's
was
things in
or
place, there's
wasn't.
audits. It's not like we're lying in our pockets, we've seen that stuff. The energy we're spending on this, our schools still need desperate help.
Yes.
We still have leaks in the roof. I don't care what happened in 2014. I don't care what happened in 2014. I don't care what happened in 2014.
When a board president openly dismisses the history of a previous bond, it sends a clear message. Oversight isn't a priority. Taxpayers cannot be expected to support new debt when past expenditures are treated as irrelevant.
We gotta look at the future, and if we don't
Yes.
fix these things right now, we're gonna be up a creek, because I work in the building industry, and you all know.
If we don't learn from the past, we'll be in the same boat.
I get that, but we're,
Every decision that was made in the 2014 bond was made in an open public forum, just like this
Right,
one.
but people have a
Every
right
single
to
one
know
of them.
where the money
Okay, and there were financials
And there were
made, and there were contracts made, and they're likely in the basement, as we were explained. So if they are, we would just like to see them. What I would like to do with that data is to piece together a lifespan timeline narrative of the infrastructure you're looking to replace.
A district that maintains a clear, continuous record of each facility's lifespan, that what was built, repaired, upgraded, or deferred, gives the community a stable foundation for understanding future needs.
That's what I want, that's what the community wants.
so what I would recommend then, exactly what I said, I'm not gonna vote to waive it completely. Let's see how many hours it takes, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna open this up, but if you wanna give her X amount of dollars, Marcy or Darcy, you go down and say, here, I've gotten.
What is X?
Whatever you wanna give over.
No, you are the agency. What is X?
The Kansas Open Records Act does not allow for quotes to be in values of
I don't know what the hour,
variables.
so it's what, $30 an hour, you're saying?
That's what I've been trying to.
Okay, so let's start with 10 hours. Let's see what $300 takes you. Let her pull the 10 hours worth of stuff. If you say you need more, I'm not gonna tell you, yeah, it takes 6
I like
months.
that.
If you want
I like
something like
that.
and then we can play it by ear, and we'll be fair, and then if it comes back and it was like, so you found it all in $300, then come back to the board, let's take a look at it, and we can possibly reimburse. We're not hiding anything.
I think
Yeah.
a point that's trying to be made by all these people is that the public the public wants you to want to dig and find out what happened to that
Believe me,
money.
we do.
We want you to do it
But
without us.
I totally get that, but this was
We
also.
feel like we're pushing.
No, but
I don't think you
a
understand
boulder
the amount of
uphill.
time that some of us put into the Board of Education and this job outside of this board.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if a lot of people know the time that a lot of us put in outside of this boardroom.
Oh,
and the
no,
calls
I-
that we have been making and the questions we've been asking. I personally have called former board members, talked to them. I have called other agencies asking for information, and I also have hit brick wall after brick wall. It's not that we don't want to. It's not that we don't want to. It's that I think most of us have come to a point where we realize that we need to look at what is happening in the schools right now. Our number one job, as Jason said earlier, is to do what is best for the students and what is best for our teachers. And right now, a new roof over their head, at least 5 of us agree, is the best thing.
I just want to say, just going forward, today's a lot different than 2014 as far as how files are stored. Everything's going to be filed electronically, right? And so they'll be able to recall that just because the technology has changed. So
I have comments towards that as well. There's been six years of new administration and boxes down in the basement that seem to be mixed with personnel files and the data that we're looking for. So 6 years without file cabinets or the Dewey Decimal System, it's not our fault.
All right, so so we can end this meeting. Are we good with starting off with 10 hours? Are you good with starting off with 10 hours, giving them 300?
I like that idea.
Are you good with that? Let's see where that gets us, and then we can kind of base it. We have to make a start. So
I say
somewhere-
let's get started, so we got it.
And when this is
Maybe
all
it's just in
over,
those
let's
meetings
work on that
and the
basement,
minutes.
for God's sakes.
Because it did have to be,
Stay
I'm
like
gonna have
that.
to go page by page.
They had
Good suggestion.
good staff.
Yes, I'll mention, I wanted emails and everything. There's more than just what's in that basement. Anything electronic as well.
All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thanks, everybody.